Hi everyone, it's Gary Nicholson here. This is a Planning Outlook video updated on Saturday the 29th of December. As we move towards New Year, it looks as though we've still got some strong winds in place. Upland gales, particularly in the Scottish mountains the next day or so. High pressure is set to really dominate then through the New Year period and just beyond, with dry conditions prevailing. Complications with low cloud and fog. There will be some inversions in there at times. Temperatures generally on the mild side. There'll be some briefly chillier air come down across Scotland around Tuesday, Wednesday, and there may be a greater amount of frost as the week goes on. Let's have a look through some charts, and for Sunday, high pressure is towards the south and a general west by southwesterly flow is across the country. The strongest winds towards the far north of Scotland, where there'll be gale force across the higher tops. Not so strong winds across England and Wales. There's still low cloud across many western mountains. There's bits of drizzly rain coming in to western Scotland. Now, a windy day for all into New Year's Eve. Widespread gales, perhaps all except Wales and the southern Pennines, with severe gales across the Scottish mountains. Wind speeds then pretty widely 50-60 miles per hour across the Munros. We've got a front that's just edging into the Northwest Highlands with some rain that'll become persistent at times, fairly small amounts but enough to be a nuisance much of the day, and occasional patchy rain just spreading eastwards from that, not so much towards the Cairngorms, and substantially dry for England and Wales. Low cloud though, shrouding many western mountains, breaks best towards more eastern regions. Now that front will just topple its way southeastwards into Tuesday. It's weakening as pressure then builds, but it'll leave a legacy of a zone of cloud and patchy rain amounting to very little in total, somewhere generally across south and southwest Scotland into northern England, where it could just be a rather murky day. Now to the north of this, we've got some brighter conditions developing, and it may well give some cloud breaks, but there's some chillier air that's just temporarily coming around into north and northeast Scotland. Freezing levels will drop, maybe as low as 600 or 700 metres around the Cairngorms. To the south of the front, though, it stays mild and freezing levels are above the summits in England and Wales. A strong cell of high pressure is then very much centred over the country into Wednesday. We've got essentially dry conditions. The complication really is where there'll be low cloud and fog. Some places there'll be some inversion conditions that develop with just fog in the valleys. Others there'll be cloud that'll lap on to many of the upslopes just where the prevailing breeze is in place. Could well be that around western Scotland that you're stuck with low cloud across many of the hills. And locally you may get away with it where the cloud breaks up substantially. So quite variable, will just depend exactly where the centre of the high is going to be. Temperatures then lifting back a little bit. There may be local frost first thing in the morning, and some of the tops in Scotland could still be just below freezing. Broadly though, as we go through the second half of the week, high pressure is in charge. Generally, freezing levels will be above the summits. It may well be there's some frost in the valleys and the glens overnight. The frost more likely actually in England and Wales, where the chilliest of the air mass is likely to be by this stage. Again, there'll be some low cloud, there'll be some fog in the valleys as well. So, tricky picture. You may just find you get some glorious conditions though out of low cloud with sunshine above areas of low-level fog. Just briefly looking further ahead, and essentially we're still looking as though high pressure stays around towards the next weekend, around the 6th of January. Got to watch the details of this one. Some indications are starting to bring some weather systems in off the Atlantic with time. What we're likely to see is that the high eventually just subsides away somewhat towards the south. It may keep England and Wales largely dry, with some fronts again coming back round off the Atlantic into Scotland, so similar to where we've just been in recent days. Some indications though do start to bring more active weather systems in. This model not absolutely showing it that well, but I think that may be the trend beyond, say, the 6th of January, that we just look at some more changeable weather, trying at least to come in off the Atlantic. Those changes are a little way off at the moment. For the time being, once we get to New Year's Day, it'll be fairly benign conditions that dominate for a few days at least. Stay up to date with your local forecasts every day on our website, and you can follow our social media feeds as well. Thanks for watching, and bye for now.